La charla que a continuación voy a presentarles definitivamente es una charla que a todos nos interesa porque todos la disfrutamos. Quiero hablarles un poco acerca de nuestro invitado especial precisamente en esta charla que vamos a disfrutar, y él es el chef Anthony Marshall. Es chef ejecutivo del London Hilton on Park Lane, Londres, Inglaterra. Es un experimentado chef, hostelero y empresario galardonado con 2 rosetas. Fue entrenado por Anton Mosiman y además colaborador también de Anton Edelman. Definitivamente un digno representante de la elegante cocina internacional moderna y por supuesto de la cocina internacional inglesa. Cabe destacar que es uno de los chefs ingleses mayormente reconocidos. Y obviamente, si de chef estamos hablando, la dupla maravillosa y perfecta para llevar a cabo esta charla entre chef no puede ser otro que también uno internacionalmente reconocido, y me refiero, por supuesto, al chef Martín San Román. Hablando un poquito de nuestro chef anfitrión, quiero decirles que él es originario de la Ciudad de México, graduado de la Escuela Lenoir de París. Obviamente certificado CAP del gobierno francés. Además, es miembro de la Academia Culinaria de Francia, Batel de México y, por supuesto, Sociedad de Cocineros de París. Pionero de la gastronomía gourmet en Baja California, y también es digno de destacar que cuenta con más de 255 reconocimientos de diferentes países. Para decirles un número solamente, les digo que son 12 países diferentes los que han reconocido al chef Martín San Román. Y obviamente es colaborador de la revista Urbanus, a quien sin mayor preámbulo le damos la más cordial bienvenida.
Okay, Tony. So I know you for many years, and I know you are one of the best known British chefs in London. I have been working with you. I have been your operations, huge operations. How do you run many restaurants? And then, for one of the busiest hotels in London as well in Europe. But let me ask you something, Tony. Who is Anthony Marshall? If you can be very brief about yourself.
Not too brief.
I know.
So what I'd like to say is buenos tardes and good afternoon from London. So yes, I have this month completed 30 years with Hilton, which is quite interesting considering that everybody said in London that I would only last there a year. So I've done 29 years more than anybody else. So what am I known for? I've been cooking since I was 15. I've cooked all over the world. I've been in San Moritz, I've been in Japan. I won the ACITV Travel Scholarship. And mainly known in London for producing the best banqueting. We do banqueting up to 1,200 people. So originally, I was a restaurant chef. And then when I took over London Hilton, and that takes about 1/17th profit of the world, when we were in the good old days. Obviously now it's different with the pandemic. And we used to go up to 1,200 people, but not only one day, back to back. So we could be doing like say 7,000 or 8,000 covers a week. That's a lot of meals to produce.
Well,
that's what we're really well known for. We have a 2-star restaurant downstairs, 2 Rosette restaurant downstairs, and we have a 5 Rosette restaurant upstairs on the 28th floor.
It's still with the enamel windows? It's still the windows on the top?
That's windows, yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, well.
And then we have Trader Vic's downstairs as well, which is Polynesian style restaurants.
Yeah, I remember I have a dinner with you in Trader Vic's. It was quite an experience. It was great. I really like it very much.
Well, it's funny enough, we haven't changed it that much. What we've done is we've improved all the fireproofing and one thing and another, because it's Polynesian, so it's got canoes, it's got lots of paraphernalia, and it's very popular.
Yeah, well, that's
but
good.
London has been traumatized, well, like all the world really.
Tony, why the English chefs are very well known all over the world? You know, you have names like Oliver, Roux, and then you have Ramsey, you have,
Heston
Irving,
Blumenthal.
you know, all these guys that are from England, they're very famous all over the world. Why the English chefs become such a celebrities all over the world? What it makes different from the
I
French
think
Americans?
when I started in 1974, I know I don't look that old, but when I did my apprenticeship at the Dorchester, there were not so many hotels. There were not so many freestanding restaurants like there now. And over the period of time, like myself, you're training with the Swiss, the French. I was working in Monaco as well. And what happens is you learn from these people, and eventually everybody is now in London. You don't find really a French or German chef running a big hotel. And the restaurants are normally freestanding, which they have like a Michelin chef running those restaurants. And why are they popular? Because they've had a name, they've got a TV show, and you know, like everything else is when you're on TV, people want to go there, they see the food and they think, oh, that looks nice. I want to go and visit there.
Yeah, but
And then
most
when they get a Michelin star, one thing or another, it adds to the ethos of the restaurant.
because mostly, you know, the English chefs become very famous, at least in this part of the continent, you know, in America, as well as United States or Mexico. And then another thing, you know, the English chefs are recognized as some of the best worldwide, but why the English cuisine is not as famous as the Italian, Spanish, the French, and also the Mexican, which is becoming, you know, very well known all over the world. What is the reason that you don't find so many English restaurants in different parts of the countries? Why always have to be more popular the cuisine from Spain, you know, France, Italy? What is the reason?
Yeah, it's a good question there. The thing is, was right, okay, it's in this country, we have got some outstanding chefs. It's quite incredible how many well-known chefs we are. And a lot of them are in Dubai now. So if you take like Gordon Ramsay, Heston Blumenthal, Tom Kerridge, they've got restaurants now, not only in this country, but far-reaching different parts of the world. In Singapore, Jason Atherton's got something in Singapore. He's got British Airways. They are diversified in lots of different parts of the region. But are they really doing English food? Maybe not. It's like a French take on it, because the food in the UK is not particularly as well known as, say, the Caesar salad or something else like that. But when we do things right, we do it right. So if you have like fish and chips in this country, if you have proper fish and chips, there's nothing like it. If you have beef, we have amazing Scottish beef here. I mean, I know everybody's talking about Wagyu and one thing and another, but if you get top quality Scottish beef, it's hard to beat. And then you've got, roast beef, Yorkshire pudding, bacon, eggs. It's very diverse cooking across England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. It's all different types of regions what they're doing. But are we well known all over the world for our English food? Most probably not as well known as we would like.
Oh, okay. Well, at least I have tried many times the English food
The thing
in
is,
England, and it was for me was amazing. But that was just a question.
You're right. The thing is, when I first went to St. Moritz, was right, okay, and I was the first English chef to ever work there, and that was one of the 10 best places in the world. And the first thing people used to say, oh, English, cup of tea, cup of tea, cup of tea.
Finger sandwich, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And people used to think English were very lazy. And to be honest, I can't disagree, they were lazy, because you would never find an English person as a waiter. How many English waiters do you find? Very
No.
few. Because like my grandfather, they were, I don't want to be a bloody waiter. Well, I used to say to him, do you know how much that waiter is taking? More money than you'll ever see. It's the concept of the idea of people that they don't realize. And I
Yeah,
think
that's
at the end of the day, the industry has changed, has come a long way, especially in this country.
and now, Tony, what is your impression right now about the Mexican food? And I don't know, you have heard about, well, you were there. You were at the Guadalupe Valley once with me, remember? Many years
Yeah,
ago?
it is. So my impression of the Mexican food for many years, don't take this the wrong way,
No,
has
no,
not
no.
had the best reputation because there have been chains of restaurants that are individual, so there's lots of chains of restaurants that are quick, fast food, you know what I mean? That not
Yeah,
really the typical
gourmet.
Mexican food. But in 2005, Thomas Mia won the Master Chef, and she went on to open Oaxaca, which is a Mexican street style food. And since then, Mexican food has coming up, and now there's a lot more well-known restaurants. There's Santiago Losta, which is high-end cooking. You've got Santo. I've had to write this down because I haven't practiced my Spanish for such a long time. Santo Remacho, Casa Pastor, and La Bodega Negra. And what's interesting about the Bodega Negra is it looks like a sex shop from the outside, yeah? So you walk in and there's a secret door and they open the door and there's a restaurant. And when I went there, Prince Harry was there as well. So it just shows you how
Yeah,
Mexican food has really taken off.
well,
And
also the bridge,
the
the
issue is as well with Mexican was right, okay, if you don't have a visa and it's not easy for everybody to get out of Mexico, that's what's holding them back in some respects of the travel, because I don't know if it's changed, but when I was there with you, so many people didn't even have a passport, let alone be able to travel in Mexico.
well, you're right, huh? I know, I saw your pictures, that you spent a lot of time in India last year, or a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's
And
right. And what a fantastic place. But I mean, honestly, those people with this pandemic, I mean, how many people have really died there? I don't think anybody
yeah,
really knows. Because
Is
when I
it-
was there, they're living in arches on the streets. And, Indian people, they all got a little piece of business. They're doing shoes, they're making this. They're all their own bosses, if that makes sense.
but the
They're
food
very
is amazing.
industrious.
The food is
Well, the
amazing.
thing is, the government gives them nothing. The
I know.
government gives them nothing.
I
So if they
remember.
don't work, they don't eat.
I know. I remember I tried some of the best Indian food over in London. It was. What was the name of your sous chef that they invite me to their home once? He was from India. One of your sous chefs. I don't know. I can't remember the name.
I can't remember. It's like 1993. You know what I mean?
Well,
I barely can remember what happened
no, no, no.
yesterday.
That
let
was in
alone
2004. That was when I got back
Oh,
again.
2004. Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was.
can't remember, to be honest.
Okay. All right, Tony. Just have you heard about the? Well, and you had been at the Guadalupe Valley.
Yes.
You were with
which
me
is
once.
Tottenham.
Do you hear about Mexican wines over in London, or not too much about it?
Yeah, the new what they call the new world wines and one thing other, Mexican wines and like that. They're all coming up. Even in this country, we've got some wines now. Do you know what I mean? So in Mexico, they are coming out. The Baja food is modern Mexican, rooted in Southern California, I believe. And all these things are now. I think now what's quite good with the world now is it's easy to get things from different parts of the world now. Whereas before it was very French. Now you've got New Zealand, South African, Mexican, there's so many different things you can get hold of.
Okay, well, so
and
that's
actually
good.
for the customer, it's a wonderful thing. Because supermarkets years ago in this country were very boring. They didn't have interesting things. Now you go to places like Waitrose or something, they have a special section of wines from Mexico, from France, from California. I mean, before you'd only get cheddar and brie. Now you've got like 30, 40 different varieties of cheese. So, it's, and in a way, supermarkets educate people because
Yeah.
because they look on there and they think, oh goodness me, listen, how fantastic! I can get this, or I've never tried dolciolata or parmesan or 5-year-old or 10-year-old or aged balsamic, you know. So supermarkets do help, and also with the different chefs on these cooking programs.
Okay, Tony. Well, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. You know, Urbanus Magazine wants to thank you for being with us. You know, in this very first time meeting with important people all over the world. And in this case, you know, I told him about that you were a very good friend of mine, how much respect I have from you, that I work with you together in your place. And
And, you know, I really enjoyed working. You know, having the festival at the London Hilton. It was one of our busiest. So it just shows you that people love Mexican food. You
yeah, I
know?
remember that we were busy. Tony, and
Yeah.
just the last question. I know
Yeah.
that you like boxing and you
Yeah.
like soccer very much. Who's your favorite fighter and what is your favorite soccer team?
Well,
You like
to be
Canelo?
honest,
Canelo? You like Canelo?
oh, listen, you know, Canelo. I think Mayweather's got a cheat now. He beat Canelo, but now would he beat him? I don't think so. It's a bit like, you know, Mayweather taking on Pacquiao when he was coming to the end of his career. 10 years before, would he have beaten him? I don't know. Canelo, I think, is a very gifted, very, very gifted athlete, and also humble as well. Do you know what I mean? I think the thing with Mayweather is we had, well, I've been lucky at the London Hilton. I've cooked for so many world-known fighters. I did Muhammad Ali's birthday party. I've had Amir Khan. I've had Dillian White. And then I had Mayweather. We did the promotion there at the hotel. The entourage, you've never seen so many people. And he's got these guys called the Haystack. Well, he's like me twice as thick, twice as high. And Mayweather likes these chili wings, yeah, which he's got the recipe for, which I had to make.
Oh, yeah?
So I made a huge plate, yeah, was massive for about enough for 10 of his entourage. This guy Haystack came along and went, oh, and he just took the whole plate and ate it himself. So when you say Canelo, yes, definitely up there.
And soccer?
It's my favorite. I would think. I used to enjoy watching Oscar de la Hoya myself in his prime. I thought he was, young, good looking, take anybody on. When he lost to Mayweather, that was doubtful. He was one of my favorite fighters, because what's interesting about something like that, and also Nigel Benn, because like Nigel Benn, when he went into the ring, he was exciting. There was always something, a knockout or something else like that. And my favorite football team, unfortunately, is Arsenal.
Yeah?
I don't know what has happened, but they need help.
All right.
But
Tony,
they're my favorites.
it has been a pleasure talking to you. We have to go, but I'm going to talk to you soon, And that was very nice to see you, because I haven't seen you in many years. But like I said before, looking forward to see you again in person, either in this side or on the other side. And
Yeah,
thank
your
you.
English has got better.
Yeah, I know. And thank you very much, Tony. Muchas gracias
De nada.
for the interview.
Encantado.
And say hello to the chefs or the cooks that are still working for you when I was there. Tell them that I said hello, okay?
Yeah, I still have a few, but we obviously had to lose quite a few people
I
due to
bet.
this pandemic. But hopefully they're going to come back.
Well, it's
I
going to
wish you
get
buena
better.
suerte with your new restaurant, and may God bless you.
All right, Tony. Well,
Yeah,
thank you very much. Love you. I hope to see you soon.
definitely. Send me the plane ticket.
I will. Okay? You got to come back.
Yeah, I will.
Gracias,
definitely.
Tony.
Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.
Ya estuvo.
Pues aquí feliz y acompañada precisamente por el chef Martín San Román, a quien le agradecemos su participación en este primer encuentro Urbanus y
Gracias.
además le haremos entrega de un reconocimiento. Para tal efecto pido la presencia de la señora Patricia San Román. Bienvenida, Pati.
Martín,
Patita.
bueno, hermano, te conozco desde chiquito, ¿verdad? Ya sabes que te admiro, te respeto muchísimo, la verdad para mí es un honor que estés con nosotros en este primer encuentro Urbanus y yo sé lo difícil que es a veces, o sea, el confiar, pero mi familia ha sido realmente un pilar muy importante porque pues, me han dado el apoyo. Te quiero entregar este reconocimiento, Martín, con todo mi cariño, con todo mi respeto y mi admiración. Quiero llorar. Y aquí pues trae la fecha del 22 de junio.
Hermoso.
Y
Mira,
quisiera
qué bonito.
decirle, o sea, si me lo permites, Martín, Anthony, well, my English is not very good. What? You're gonna receive yours, one of these, in a few days. We try to send it with the time, but we couldn't.
You will get it this week, Tony, okay? There is one of these for
I
you.
can't. It looks so exciting. I can't wait.
Okay.
Thank you very much for being part of the Urbanus Encounter, and we'll
Okay.
see you soon. We hope to
Okay.
We'll send you
Hasta
the
luego.
ticket. Bye. Gracias, amigo.
Yeah.
Gracias, Martín.
Ciao.
Chao, Tony.
Muchas gracias. Continuamos
Gracias.
en este primer encuentro urbano.
Transforma tu vida en Limart, Centro de Excelencia en Obesidad, con la mayor experiencia, certificación y reconocimiento internacional. La doctora Lisa María Pompa González, cirujano de excelencia, ha logrado transformar la vida de miles de pacientes. Es tu mejor elección para lograr un peso sano y transformar tu vida.
Ya te mereces tener un espacio diferente, único, un lugar donde disfrutar de negocios o placer y después puedas celebrar. Te mereces más, atención personalizada, más servicios y una ubicación privilegiada. Te mereces un plus, City Express Plus.